All right, welcome to episode one of Across the Leagues.
Yes. All right. So today we're going to be ranking all 30 MLB teams.
All right, let's get into it. You want to go first, or should I start it off?
I'll go first.
All right.
So in last place, I have the Los Angeles Angels. They're the worst team in the AL, and the AL has been pretty horrid this year, so not much explanation needed.
I agree with you. And many people would think we'd say the Rockies after a few horrible seasons in a row, but the Rockies have been scoring a lot of runs lately, and I commend them for that. They're actually ahead of the Angels now. So, I agree with your pick. And then in 29th, I think we both have the Rockies, right?
Yep. Rockies 29th.
I mean, just pretty two under 400 teams, nothing special about them. They really need work on their pitching side of things, especially the Rockies.
Yeah, especially since they're in cores, high elevation.
Yeah,
The 28th team, I actually have the Royals. They just lost 19-2 to the Padres, so I think that really brings them down a lot.
I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. The Royals, I would say, are number 28. Uh, I don't even with the superstar talent in Bobby Witt Jr. I'm not sure why they're so bad, but I think they need some pitching help, and I think they're going to be a big buyer this offseason, and they
Yep.
might be going to a rebuild.
27th, I have LOL Mets. And in the beginning of the year, I actually said that they're going to be on top of the National League contending with the Dodgers, because they signed Luis Robert Jr. and they signed Bo Bichette, but they just been terrible this year. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I agree. I said the same thing. I said them and the Phillies are going to be atop the NL East. Little do you know, they're in the bottom, and I just think I think it brings them down even more that they have all those superstars and they can't win any games.
Yeah. All right. 26th, I actually have the Giants coming in. I thought they're going to be really good with Rafi Devers, Luis Arias, but they just haven't been doing anything, man.
I think that's a great take. I'm looking at the teams, and I honestly think that is the only right answer for 26. I mean, they they're in a great division besides the Rockies, of course, but and they have good pitching like Logan Webb, and I think all their players are just having an off year,
Yeah.
and they need to rebuild. I have my 25th team if you're not ready yet.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the Athletics.
Okay, I actually agree with that. Agree with that.
I mean, as much as I think their future is very bright with guys like Jacob Wilson, Nick Kurtz, a bunch of rookies. I mean, even Shea Langoliers is having an outstanding season. It's just their record is not showing that, and that's why I'm putting them 25th.
I think it's been a lot of injuries. Max Muncy, he was re-signed to the minors. Brett Rooker, he's out. Injured on 60 day. Zach Geloff, he's out. Nick Kurtz, he's out. And also, a lot of people have like very high expectations for Nick Kurtz. And even though he still performed pretty well, I still would consider it a down year for him, especially since his last season and all the expectations he had with that season.
Yeah, it's a good take.
All right, my 24th team, I have the Detroit Tigers.
I like it. I thought about it. I just looked at them. I thought about it, but I'm actually going to take the Baltimore Orioles before them.
Wow. Okay.
I think the Tigers have so much potential with Tarek Skubal and all
Yeah.
stars like Riley Green and all star snub like Dylan Dingler at their catching position. But the Orioles, coming off of an 100-win season a few years ago, I don't know what happened to them. They should be much better than they are with Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Trevor Rogers, and it's just not been a good season.
True. I just think for the Tigers, like, I think they're going to be selling at the offseason. Tarek Skubal's probably going to get traded somewhere. We don't know where yet, but I don't think he'll be here with the Tigers for much longer. And without him, they don't really have a lot of pieces except for like Dylan Dangler. So, and Riley Green, obviously, but they just haven't been performing like they can. So that's why I have to put them at some.
All right. I mean, for those exact reasons, I'm going to put them at 23, just ahead
Okay.
of the Orioles. I just think they have a little more potential with Tarek Skubal being a good pitcher, even though he's not performing this year with like a 6 ERA.
Me 23rd. I actually went with the Reds. Yeah, they just have been underperforming, Ellie De La Cruz, I don't know. He's kind of having a little bit of a down season. Still a great talent and everything, but I just think he could be doing so much better than he is right now. Not to mention T. Brian Hayes, who they try to get from the Pirates not too long ago. He's averaging a batting average of 138 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. So I don't know what's been going on with him recently, but he just has not been looking good. For example, the game against the Rockies 2 days ago, he went 0 for 4. So
Yeah, and I like that take, but I've got to in my 22nd spot, I've got to put the Blue Jays.
okay,
The only reason that they're this high is because they're coming off of a World Series appearance,
yep.
but they've just been underperforming, losing the AL East. I mean, they lost the series to the White Sox. They lost the series to the Padres. They lost 10-1 to the Giants a couple days ago. I mean, they've just not been a great team since they lost guys like Bo Bichette, Max Scherzer to the injured list. That's why I have them at my 22 spot.
I actually also have the Blue Jays at my 22 spot. Same reasons as you. They have just haven't been performing very well, like we know they can. They just lost, like you said, 12-4 against the Blue Jays. Lost the series to the Padres. They did beat the Giants 10-0, but that's not very impressive because the Giants have been performing very badly this year. So 22 spot, I do have the Blue Jays as well. And then just beating out them for 21, I have the Houston Astros. And the only reason I have them there is because the MVP candidate they have is Jordan Alvarez. But other than that, they are just not good.
Okay. In my 21, I'm going to go with the Reds, and I think it matters that last year they're coming off of a postseason berth, and I think that their fall off with they didn't really lose anybody. In fact, they got a Eugenio Suarez, and I just think Ellie De La Cruz has been underperforming. A Eugenio Suarez has been underperforming, and they could just really use more help because they've got it down at the pitching side of things.
Yeah. So for my 20th spot, I have the Minnesota Twins. It's pretty weak AL this year. AL's looking very top heavy. But, Byron Buxton just got injured. He's actually back, but without him, they just don't look like a great baseball team. They lost 10-1 to the Cubs and then 6-2 to the Cubs. Lost that series. They weren't really looking very good. So not a lot of bright spots for them. So I got them on my 20th spot.
Yeah, I mean, in the 20th spot, I'm also going to take the Minnesota Twins. I just think they've been on a tear as of lately, but they were one of the worst teams in baseball just last month, and I think that has to stay in your mind. You know, Byron Buxton, like you said, great player, but that's about it. I mean, Joe Ryan, Byron Buxton, the list stops there for performers this season, and that's why they've been under 500.
Okay. So for my 19th spot, I actually have the Baltimore Orioles. And the reason I have them this high is because they actually have been on a 7-game win streak. They just swept the Astros, swept the Royals, and then won the last game against the Cubs. And I just think they're in really good form right now with like Abby Richardson, Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso, everybody like that. I just think they're doing very well. So that's why I have them on that team.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I think in my 19, I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think there was a lot of overhype with them winning leading the division in NL Central for like the first month, and that quickly the script was flipped, and now they're in fourth. And I think the reason for that is Paul Skeens. I mean, underperforming as good as he is, he's been underperforming. And then the rest of their team, they've got a lot of solid guys, but I think they're missing that superstar aspect that a lot of teams need.
So 18, I have the Padres. I just think guys like Fernando Tatis Jr., like all his juice is gone. Only 7 home runs. and it's already been the All-Star break. But they still have very great pieces like him. They have Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts, one of the best closers in the game. Mason Miller, and they have some decent pitching. So I think they can have a bounce back during the second half of the season and probably be in postseason contention.
With my 18, I'm actually gonna take the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay.
Despite me picking them as a worse team than a lot of teams with a worse record, I think those teams have potential to go somewhere that I put ahead of them. The Cleveland Guardians, I don't see them being a good team. Even if they make a wild card spot, I don't see them making a far run in the postseason. And those words may come back to bite me, but I just think, I mean, with Emmanuel Clase, with the gambling conspiracies, I mean, he's been out, right? This team is just, it's kind of fallen off.
You know what? I like that team. I like that team. But 17, I have the Seattle Mariners. And the Mariners were always good, but just since the beginning of the season, like Kyle Riley has just been abysmal. And they always have a great pitching staff. They have Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, George Kirby, great pitching staff, Luis Castillo, but Kyle Riley, 163 batting average, 29 RBIs and 9 home runs. That's just not going to cut it. He just went 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 3 against in the series against the Giants. So I just don't think that's what he's capable of when he just had a 60 plus home run season last year.
Yeah, I do agree with that thing about Kyle Riley, but they still came off of ALCS appearance. So I can't put them this low. But who I am gonna take next is the Miami Marlins. Sure, they've been better this season, but they're just coming off a horrible getting swept by the Milwaukee Brewers. Uh, their talent, I mean, Otto Lopez in the offensive side, and then pitching Yuri Perez, Sandy Alcantara, the list stops there. I mean, they've got some guys playing who just they're not helping the lineup. And although they've been better this season than in past years, I don't think they deserve to be a top 15 seed.
Okay. So for my 16th spot, I have the Washington Nationals. You know, they're doing pretty decent for who they have with the even 500 record. They have some all-stars in CJ Abrams and James Wood, but that's really all they have. I mean, their pitching isn't really well. They just they just are mid. That's the word for the Washington Nationals. It's mid.
Yeah, I like that. Washington Nationals are mid, they're improving. I mean, mid is better than horrible, so they're getting better from the last couple of years. I mean, of course, they are coming out of a World Series in the past decade, but after that they fell off. I'm not actually gonna put them yet though. I've been holding off on the Astros. I'll put them in my number 16 spot. I think
Wow.
yeah, I think I can't let him go any further just because of that under 500 record. But Jordan Alvarez, he has a chance to do something really special for this team. And if they're able to clinch a postseason berth, I think they can go really far.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's why we're here. So, cracking the top 15, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're half a game back from a wild card spot. They just had an epic comeback against,
Is that St. Louis?
yeah, they had a great comeback against St. Louis yesterday, you know, and I just feel like that was a great win for them. And I think they'll be able to do something special in the NL, even though they're in a very tough division.
Yeah, I think that's a good take. Uh, right now I'm gonna take the Nationals.
Yeah,
I think that they're gonna get into my top 15 here because the reason for that is that they're above the Miami Marlins, who are actually above them in their division. Is that Nationals? Did you know that they have like one of the most runs in MLB? You wouldn't expect that,
wouldn't.
but and James Wood, I mean, he's just an absolute power threat. He's going to be the future face of the MLB. And their pitching, although not amazing, Foster Griffin, I mean, he was a National League All-Star this year. Uh, their relieving could definitely use a lot of work, but
Yep.
If they can make some buys at the trade deadline, I think they could be better.
Okay, I like that take. So, 14, I have the Cleveland Guardians. I actually think that they can do something in the postseason. Maybe not make it all the way to a World Series, but I think they'll be able to make it out the wild card. They have an all-star in Travis Bazzana. He's been doing something really good to this year. They have Jose Ramirez. Even though he's injured, he's still a great player. So Chase DeLauder, he was looking really good in the beginning of the season. They have some good pitchers in Gavin Williams, so I just think that they're a top 15 team and they'll be doing something good in the postseason.
Okay. Number 14, I'm actually going to take the San Diego Padres. I know you took them a little bit earlier, lower in the standings. I'm going to put them at 14 because Mason Miller, I mean, I think undisputably the best reliever in baseball.
Fair.
Uh, I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr., he's still a great player, although he's not having his best season right now. In fact, it's probably one of his worst seasons. He's still a star player of the MLB, whether you like it or not. And then guys like Manny Machado, I know he doesn't have like a crazy long time left in the MLB, but still think they have potential, especially after being in the postseason last year.
That's not a crazy take. For my 13th position, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates. Um, you know, they just have some great players. One of the best pitchers in the league. And Paul Skeens, he hasn't been performing as well as we know he can. But they also have Braxton Ashcraft, who's been looking like a great pitcher. A good rookie in Connor Griffin, even though he's just recently has been injured, he was showing us some great things in the beginning of the season. Still have people like Brian Reynolds, Brandon Lau, Ryan O'Hearn. So I just think that if they do make the playoffs, they'll be able to do something really well.
All right. It's I wouldn't have put him that high, which I didn't, but we all have our different takes about where the NL Central is going to go. Number 13, I'm actually going to go with the Boston Red Sox here. I know people are saying that they're a top 10 seed, and people are saying that this team is like been on a rampage, which undoubtedly they have, and they have a great player in Wilson Contreras. I mean, he's just having a great year for whatever reason. And you know, I just don't think it's gonna last forever. I mean, it's sort of like a fairy tale, they've been on it. I mean, last 10 games, they're 10-0, obviously on that 13 game win streak. So they've been great. But if you take away those 13 games, you got to take it back to where they were, like bottom of the American League this start of the year. And I think that will leave a mark.
Okay. For my 12th position, I have the Texas Rangers. You know, they are at the top of their division, but it's very weak, with the Astros, the A's, not very great teams. They do have some great players, though. Don't get me wrong, with like Jake Berger, Brandon Nemo, Jock Peterson, Corey Seager. They have great pitching with Nathan Eovaldi and Jacob deGrom. But I just think that once they enter the playoffs, they're going to be shown as frauds. And I just don't think this roster is talented enough to go very deep, especially even though they're in the American League.
You know, I agree with that. I was actually going to say a different team for my number 12, but you swayed my opinion with that reasoning. I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers for number 12. Actually, I'm putting them under another team in their division, even though they're the number one seed in their division right now. Just because, I mean, yeah, I don't think they're even going to make the playoffs. That might be a crazy take, okay? But
And yeah, this.
I think the Astros and Mariners are both going to pass them up, and they are not going to be a wild card team.
That's a very hot take. Okay. For my 11th position, I have the Miami Marlins. They have just been red hot this season. They got guys like Otto Lopez. He's just been playing out of his mind. They have Sandy Alcantara, who's still one of the top pitchers. They have Max Meyer, who has a 9-1 record and 121 strikeouts. I mean, like things like that, you just can't look over. So that's why I have it right out just my right outside my top 10.
I think that's a bold take, putting the Miami Marlins at 11, but I like it. I like it. I like you seeing the potential in them. For my 11, who I was gonna put in my 12 until you swayed my opinion, I'm gonna take the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think the only reason they're not that they are this high is because of walk 'em down Jordan Walker.
Yes, that is
He
my
is,
guy.
yeah, he is single-handedly carrying this team to what is likely going to be a postseason berth. And I think they are going to pass the Cubs in the NL Central. And
Bold, bold, bold.
I think Jordan Walker is gonna be in the MVP race.
Wow, these are some very bold takes. But I actually do have the St. Louis Cardinals starting my top 10. You know, like you said, welcome down Jordan Walker, just won a home run derby. He's just been looking fantastic. And they also have rookie of the year candidate in JJ Witherholt. They also have guys like Mason Wynn. You know, we know what he can do. And they have some solid pitching, but I think they do need to upgrade their staff if they do want to go deep, especially since they are in the NL.
Yeah. I mean, cracking my top 10 might be a surprising take. Arizona, the Arizona
Wow.
Diamondbacks. Coming, like you said, I know it's just one game. Coming off that 7-0 comeback to win 8-7 in the bottom of the 10th with the Max Kepler walk-off double. I mean, this is just an outstanding team when you really look at it, and it's a very underrated team. They won in 2001 for the World Series. It's been a while since they've been good, except 20 in this past decade. They did make another World Series appearance,
Yeah.
but I
2000,
think
2021,
guys
yes.
like Nolan Arenado,
Okay.
Geraldo Perdomo, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll,
There's
Ildarmo
that.
Vargas. I mean, the list goes on. I just think it could be an unstoppable team if they know what they're doing. If they get a little bit better pitching, even though they have really good stuff like Zach Gallen, Corbin Burns that might come off the IL this year, former Cy Young winner. I mean, this could be a really good team.
I like that take. So for my number 9 spot, might be a little bit controversial, but I have the Boston Red Sox. Like, I mean, a 13-game win streak is like, it's just amazing. I don't know, like, it doesn't matter the team if you're in the bottom or the top. Like, that just has to have some recognition. They've swept, I think, 3 teams, and that is just incredible. With one of them being the White Sox, they are actually pretty high up on my list. They have been incredible this year. Not to mention they swept the Tampa Bay Rays, which, in my opinion, is a top 5 team. But I just think that the Boston Red Sox, they have some great guys and like Ceddanne Rafaela, Wilson Contreras, he's been doing amazing. Like people, even like Jared Durant, he's been having an off year, but we know the potential he has. And then they have great pitching in Sonny Gray. And I just think that this is a top 10 team. And with the 13-game win streak, I don't know how you can just avoid that.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. But in my number 9 seed, I got the Seattle Mariners. Yes, I've held them off to the top 10. Yes, I don't. Where did you have them?
17th.
Yes, I
Wow.
have them almost double your position in the rankings. I mean, this team was just in the ALCS. I cannot put them below the top 10 because guys like Cal Raleigh, sure he's underperforming, but we all know, we've all seen that he has what it takes. And then, not to mention their rotation. My goodness, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, I mean, Brian Wu, and then in their bullpen. They've got Luis Castillo. I mean, what is his team? Come on,
List
they have
goes
not
on.
been performing great. They're around 500, but I don't care. They are top 10.
That's a very bold, bold, bold take. All right. Coming in at number 8, I have the New York Yankees. They did just beat the Dodgers 2-1, but I don't think that's enough. Aaron Judge hasn't been playing. Jazz Chisholm obviously said he's trying to go for a 40-40 season. He has 14 home runs. and 26 stolen bases. So I don't even know if he's on pace, but they still got great guys, AL Cy Young favorite in Cam Schlittler. They have Cody Bellinger, like I said, Jazz Chisholm, batting rights. This team is stacked, and when Aaron Fudge comes back, I think they'll be possibly a top five team and a very sure World Series content.
Yeah, well, in my eighth spot, I got to go with the Chicago Cubs. I mean,
Oh,
I've held them
wow.
off for long enough. I've held them off for long enough, they made my top 10, which I don't know if I'm happy about that, but I got to be
This is
honest.
bias, man. This is bias.
No, it's not bias.
This
It's
is
the truth.
bias.
It's the truth. The Cubs, the Cubs has just been choking. I don't know what to say. I mean, sure, Dansby Swanson, everyone overlooks his 100 batting average because he had a couple good days. And then Nico Horner, what happened to batting 300? He's batting like 240. I mean, what is this team? Who's your best player? I bet you can't even tell me as a Cubs fan yourself. And I just think that goes to show that I don't think I think they're pretenders in the National League Central.
Okay. So, my number seven spot, another AL team, I have the Chicago White Sox. They have been such a surprising team, and I'm from Chicago myself. You are too. I don't know why you have the Cubs so low, but you know, they have just been so surprising. Like Miguel Vargas, all-star, close to Montgomery's been playing out of his mind. Tristan Peters, who get to hit the cycle, he was just recently named all-star. So I just also, not to mention Southside Samurai, Takuma Murakami. This team is just absolutely amazing. And then they also have some great pitching in Davis Martin and Anthony Kay. So I just feel like, not to mention Grant Taylor, a crazy reliever, especially in MLB show. But I just feel like this is a top 10 team. They just been playing so well, and they can be doing some great things in the playoffs when come October.
Yeah, I agree, but I have a little more respect for them than that. Coming in at my seven, I'm gonna take the Philadelphia Phillies.
Wow.
I mean, they're not even winning their division. They're a great team with Christopher Sanchez. He was a Cy Young candidate. I mean, the Cy Young race is pretty clear in a way. Jacob Mizorowski right now in the National League.
Biasy, man.
The American League is a little closer, but Cam Schlittler I think takes the cake in that one. But anyways, back to the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, they've got some great guys. Brandon Marsh. I mean, I don't know about the hair, but his batting average, man. And then we got Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, just absolute power threats at the plate. And then they still got guys you might forget about: JT Realmuto, Trey Turner, Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott. The list goes on. Philadelphia Phillies, seventh best team.
Wow. Ahead of the Cubs is insane. The Cubs, the first time they met, they won the series 2-1, and then they swept them 4 games to nothing. So I don't understand how you can have them so high, but the list is a list, and that's your list. And coming in at sixth is the Philadelphia Phillies. Like you said, they have some great guys. They also have people like Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, some great pitching, Christopher Sanchez, you know, Jesus Luzardo, Zach Wheeler. And then they just have some very underrated guys, like Alex Garcia. He's also there, even though he's been injured. He's still a great player. And I just think that come postseason, they might do some damage, but it really depends on the matchup. Not to mention they have a great closer in Johan Durant.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, now I'm at the sixth spot and I've got a decision to make, but I think I'm going to sway the way of the New York Yankees at the sixth spot
Wow, the sixth
because
spot.
Aaron, yeah, I know it's a bit higher than yours. What did you have him, nine?
Yep. Eighth.
Yeah, eight. Yeah, so Aaron Judge, still a great player, whether you talk about his current season or not. I know he's been injured. Jazz Chisholm, he can pipe down his ego a little bit, but if it gets him runs at the plate, doesn't matter. And then they've got other guys. Cody Bellinger, sneaky little all-star pick. I mean, they're still a good team, whether you like it or not. And with the weaker AL this year, I think they have a really good chance to be in the World Series.
I agree. Okay. Our top five. I am going to start this list with, drum roll please, the Chicago Cubs. Like you said, you had them all the way where? Eighth?
Yeah.
That is just very disrespectful. We have it. top two player in the NL. May I add, he's not two, and Pete Crow Armstrong. I mean, he has just been balling, man. Just straight balling. I don't know. One of the probably the best center fielder in the entire league, both offensively and defensively. He opened up the 2020 club before the All-Star break. We just have some great guys: Seiya Suzuki, Michael Bush, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ. I can keep going. We have Alex Bregman, Nico Hort, and our pitching staff is very good as well, might I add. We have only reason we're so low is because we've been dealing with some heavy injuries to people such as Ben Brown, Moses, Matt Shaw, Edward Cabrera. But when we're healthy, we're a top five team. We also have some great pitching with the backing board as well. So I just don't know how you could disrespect a team like the Cubs. So that's why I have to put them at the five spot.
Wow. Well, I like to keep it respectful at this show, but that is an absolutely abysmal, horrible take.
Wow.
They are, you should be happy I'm putting them in the top 10.
Wow.
They are not going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Pete Crow Armstrong is a fake MVP contender. He is not going to be in the race by the end of the year. And his temper is shows in the game of baseball because that matters, not just your skill. So
Okay.
in my five spot, this is where it gets really tough. But I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, wow. That is very disrespectful.
I mean, disrespectful. They're leading an AL team, an AL division, which the American League is like undoubtedly worse than the
Yeah,
National League
they're
this year,
abysmal.
despite the All-Star game. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. I think there's one team who's above 500 against the National League and the American League, and it's not good. So the Rays, I mean, they're the thing about them, what makes them better than the Yankees at number six, they've got the chemistry, man. They're not just a bunch of superstars. They're good guys like Junior Caminero, Yandy Diaz, the speedster, and Chandler Simpson. And then they just got some great players like Cedric Mullins they received this past offseason. I mean, they have a real potential to make it to the ALCS and possibly the World Series this year.
You know, Even though I said that was disrespectful having them five, I do have them at four. The NL is just absolutely stacked this year. They also have some great pitchers in Drew Rasmussen, Dick Martinez, and Shane Clanahan. You know, Not to mention also some players like Jonathan Aranda. He's been having a good year for himself. And I just think that it'll either be them or the Yankees that come out of the AL. Maybe we have a Rays Dodgers matchup rematch for the World Series. That'll be very entertaining.
Yeah. Well, obviously, number four, I'm going to say the Chicago White Sox.
Wow, okay,
Um,
that's very high.
yeah, yeah, I've got them high, man. I mean, last year they this is probably the most insane difference we've seen in baseball going upwards. I mean, worst team in baseball, people are clowning them. Their own fans are making fun of them. They want to sell the team. Next year, look what happens. Munetaka Murakami. I mean, Colson Montgomery, Chase Mydroff, Braden Montgomery. Like what are we doing here? Chicago White Sox. What do you say? The White Sox are going to win today. I mean, it is just a great squad, but we all know the NL leading division
Yep,
winners are the top three.
they're just light years ahead. So my number three spot will be the Milwaukee
Yeah,
Brewers.
yeah.
Not even biased, man, but I just think they pale in comparison with not only just like division wise, but also just superstar talent. I just don't think the talent is there like these other two teams, even though they have a better record than the Atlanta Braves. I just don't think that they are on par with the Atlanta Braves. They still got some great players with one of the best pitchers in the game with Jacob Mizorowski. They have Bryce Terang, Jake Bowers, William Contreras, Jackson Churio. They've all been having great years, but I just don't. I just think they pale in comparison to the top two, and the top two are definitely going to be fighting for a World Series championship or a World Series spot.
Yeah, well, I disagree with that take. In my three, I'm taking the Atlanta Braves. Sure, you could say the one time the Braves and the Brewers met, the Braves won 2-1. You want to know what happened to those games? Game one, game one. I mean, just should have been should. Sorry. Little little mishap there.
Yep. It's
Um,
okay.
basically, sorry, what I was trying to say is that game one, the Brewers really just should have won. I
Okay.
mean, it was it was just sad how it came out. We get thrown out at the plate, which would have been the tying run. I mean,
Okay.
game two, they Ozzy Albies hits a walk off 330-foot wall scraper in Atlanta.
All right.
I mean, we would have won that game if we got one more out, one more strike, in fact. And
Okay.
game three, we ended up taking 9-4, which is just an easy win for us. We started not even trying at the end, gave up 2 runs because we didn't even put in our good pitchers. I
Okay.
mean, it's just clear that the Brewers have more potential than the Braves this season, and I think it's going to be a Brewers Dodgers matchup to go to the World Series again, like last year.
Okay. Well, we all know what happened last year. Strikeout time was probably one of the best performances we've ever seen in baseball. But the number two spot, I have the Atlanta Braves. You know, they have some great players. Ozzy Albies, Ronald Drake Baldwin, Matt Olson, Michael Harris II. You know, I just think they have some great players. They also have the big lefty Chris Sale. You know, Grant Holmes, he's been pitching pretty well. And I just feel like this team can go the distance. You know, the star power is there on offense. They also have some great defense with all those guys. The pitching is there. I just think this is one of the best and most complete rosters in all of MLB, and that's why I have them at the number two spot.
Okay, I don't think there's a need to use Harris's full government, but
Here's
in
the
my number
second.
two spot, in my number two spot, I'm gonna go with the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, I could go on and on about this team. I love these guys, man. I mean, every position is filled up with a player that's good at something. At catcher, William Contreras, 3-run walk-off bomb yesterday. First base, Jake Bauers, Andrew Vaughn, both amazing players. Second base, Bryce Terang, the best second baseman in the National League this year. Shortstop, Cooper Pratt, the future of the league, and Joey Ortiz at third, just the best defensive third baseman in the league. And then we go to the
Alex Bregman
outfield.
exists.
We got Garrett Mitchell, most hits in all of July. We got Jackson Churio. He's also going to be the future of the Brewers and the future of the league. He's going to be an MVP someday. I
Oh my
stand by
gosh.
it.
Oh
In
my gosh.
right field, South Frelick, he hasn't had the best hitting season, but defensively, he's a Gold Glove winner, robbing home runs, diving plays. He's willing to put his heart on the line for the team, and that shows. And then Christian Yelich, don't get me started, man. I love the guy. Sure, he hasn't been performing to his best this season like an MVP caliber player that he is, but he just gets hits after hits when he comes up in the clutch, and he knows what he has to do to support his team as the veteran that he is. And then we get to the pitching staff. Brandon
Oh
Woodruff,
my
horrible injury, but he's gonna be
gosh.
next. He's gonna be back next year. He announced that he's not retiring. Jacob Mizrowski, best pitcher in baseball, undoubtedly. And then we got even the relievers. Aaron Ashby, most wins in baseball by a reliever before the second half ever. Abner Remig, shutdown reliever. Trevor McGill, you're not scoring a run off of him. That's why they're the second best team in the MLB.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry if you guys took a nap right there. That was a very poor rant about a team that's not even the best team in baseball. But I think this is very undisputed number one team, best money team in the world, you know, Los Angeles
Yeah,
Dodgers. Best
yeah.
pitching rotation, you know, offense is there. They got the best player in the world right now in Shohei Ohtani. You know, Andy Pye, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, Kyle Tucker having a down year, still playing very well. Pitching, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Justin Robleski. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. It should be unfair, honestly. Like I didn't even mention Roki Sasaki, didn't mention Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. Like this team is just they're number one for a reason. I think they'll go back to back to back. And it's just getting honestly boring at this point. Like, we need Robert Manfred to step in and do something about this.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it pains me to say it, but we might have a lockout this season, next season, if they win another World Series because there's no salary cap. They're gonna go ahead and snatch Tarik Skubal from the Tigers. They're just gonna have the best team in baseball, like always. And what are we gonna do to stop it? Nothing, just because they have money.
Yep.
That's why they're the number one seed. But I'm not happy about it, and I think the rest of the team needs to gang up on them.
Hopefully we can see someone else come out of the NL, even if it's the Milwaukee Brewers. You know, I'll be more happy with it.
Yeah, anyone would, honestly. Well, I think we've got some good lists. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot mine. So, what segment do you want to do next, co-host?
You know what? I'll let you choose. I started this one off with every team, so I'll let you choose next.
Oh, well, thank you for the honor of that. This next segment is gonna be the award race.
Okay.
I mean, let's just go through American League, National League. Who's gonna win the award and who has top three chances?
Okay.
Do you want to start us off with National League MVP?
National MVP. You know what? I'm not gonna say who we all know it should be. I'm gonna go with another person, and that is Pete Crow Armstrong. I mean, he's just have an amazing year. Without him, I don't know, the Cubs just would not be the same. They probably would even be top three in the division. But just he's just been playing absolutely amazing, lights out. Just what an incredible player. So that's just who I have to go with.
Well, that's a horrible take, but I
Thank you,
respect
thank
you
you.
for saying it in front of this audience.
Yep.
So I'm going to say who we all know is the absolute truth. Shohei Ohtani is going to win MVP again.
Yeah.
And although we've got some good NL teams, the MVP race isn't like the best we've ever seen it by any means.
Another.
I mean, we're looking at some guys like Kyle Schwarber, great home run hitter, not a great hitter for average.
Yeah, it's true.
Looking at guys like JJ Weatherhold, who's the future of the league, but right now, I don't know.
He might
But
be coming up a little bit later, but
in my second spot, I'm still going to go with Kyle Schwarber. 30 home runs. What are you going to do to stop that? He's just a generational talent, and I think that's something you can't overlook.
you know what? I respect it. I respect it. All right. Well, obviously, second place I would have Shohei Ohtani, and then third I would have might be a hot take, but I would have James Wood as my third
Mm.
place. Because without James Wood, the Nationals, I don't know what they'd be doing. They'd just be shambles, like absolute shambles. So James Wood, that is my third pick.
Yeah, great take. I mean, with my first pick, Shohei, second pick, Schwarber, third pick, I was going to go James Wood too. I mean, he's just a great player. I think he's overlooked, and I think he's going to be in the NL MVP race.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right,
But
now,
s- sorry to interrupt. Honorable mention:
yep,
Jordan, walk him down Walker is
I
going to
like
be
that.
in the
That was a
MVP
great
race.
honorable mention. Even though you didn't add Pete Armstrong, it's okay. We all know you're a Brewers fan. You're being a little biased. It's okay.
Hmm.
Now we go to the AL. So my personal opinion, I think we both think this. Maybe I don't know
Yeah,
about the viewers at home, but it's got to go to Yordan Alvarez. Like
yeah,
without him, the
absolutely.
Astros, they would just be the worst team in baseball. Like they would just be abysmal.
Yeah, I mean, he's the heart of that team. He's definitely the number one pick. I mean, he's leading the league. He's second in the American League in average. He's first in
Yep.
home runs, first
Hmm.
in RBIs.
Yep.
He's up there in runs. I mean, he's unstoppable.
Yes. I 100% agree. My second pick would be Ben Rice. I mean, the Yankees without Aaron Judge, they've stayed afloat, but I think that's in credit to Ben Rice. He's an all-star, batting 281. Second in the AL for OPS. Actually, yeah, and he's second in the whole league with 967, only behind Yordan Alvarez. 29 home runs, 68 RBIs. I mean, the guy's just an absolute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take him second too. These are some guys like James Wood, Ben Rice, overlooked because of how young they are. He's so many home runs, so many RBIs. He's just a great player. He's second for me.
And then third, I have Junior Caminero. You know, batting 280, which is very good for him. 104 hits, 60 RBIs, 29 home runs. I just think he's just a great player. Without him, the Rays, I don't think they'd be the first in the AL. Hot take, I don't know.
You know what I'm gonna do, co-host?
What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna take Junior Caminera. I'm gonna take his teammate,
Oh, wow.
Yandy Diaz,
I like that though.
the best average in the American League. You can't overlook a near 320 average more than halfway into the season. He's gonna be an MVP candidate in the American League.
I really like that. I really like that. Okay, so next, let's do, you know what? Let's do the Cy Young. Let's do the Cy Young race.
Hmm.
So we're gonna start with the NL. I'm actually gonna go from third and work my way up.
Mm.
So third place, I have Chase Burns. He's been pitching very well. 97.2 innings pitched. He's at a 2.4 ERA. I just think he's been doing very, very well. Chase Burns.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to put a third place on here. Um, it's a big decision for me to make. I'm gonna need some time to think about this. Actually, would you mind going with your second while I think this over?
You know what? I can do that. I'll do that. So my second pick is Christopher Sanchez. Win loss of 11 and 4, 20 games pitched, 2.62 ERA. His whip is at 1.19. He's only allowed 12 home runs. I mean, he's always been a great player, but sometimes he can just be very shaky. Like his recent outing against the Royals on July 6th, he went 3 and a third, gave up 9 earned runs and only 1K. So I mean, he's a very shaky pitcher. He definitely has some great outings, but every now and then he could just bed, as they say. So second place, I have to go with Christopher St.
Yeah, I haven't actually heard that saying, but in my third spot, I'm also in with Chase Burns. Now that I've decided, Chase Burns is 2 ERA, 10.7 K per nine. I mean, 23-year-old. I mean, he's just been absolutely outstanding in the National League.
Yep.
And to catch back up to you, second, I'm going to go Christopher Sanchez. I mean, he did give up a 3-run home run to my boy Blake Perkins, but I was there by the way. I was there by the way. But anyways, yeah, he's great. And then let's just get this over with. Number one, clear Cy
Clear
Young
cut. Yep.
winner,
Jacob
Jacob
Mizorowski.
Mizrowski. Yeah.
Yep. He's leading the league in Ks with 167, 1.62 ERA. And even when he does lose, it's not, he always is pitching well. Like against the Reds on July 2nd, he went 5 innings, only 1 earned run at 10 Ks, but Brewers run support wasn't there that game. You guys lost 7-2. And then against the Braves on June 19th, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and 7 Ks, but you guys lost 2-3. Run support just still not there. Like those are still great outings, but and again, like for example, June 12th, he went 9 innings, 0 earned runs in 15 games, 3-game shutout against the Phillies. So I think it's just clear cut, unless he gets injured, which I hope doesn't happen. He's just the best pitcher in baseball right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I heard Jeff Levering of the Milwaukee Brewers announcer say, a bad start for him is a dream start for any other player. I mean, his worst start was probably against the Braves this year. 2 earned runs in 6 innings. How many Ks?
I 7. I think I want to say 7.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a dream start for any standard pitcher, but for him, he's probably been disappointed after this outing. And then the fact that just in his sophomore year in the league, he's able to shake off his manager and Pat Murphy to stay in for another inning and get 3 Ks against the Rockies is just incredible.
Yep, just elite. That's what elite players do. So now for the AL in third place, I'm gonna go with Joe Ryan with both the Minnesota Twins. I mean, he's just been dominant, even though he's just on a terrible team. Like some recent outings, July 11th, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, July 5th against the Yankees, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs with 9 Ks. The only reason I'm having a little higher is that he is shaky at times, like against the Astros. He let up 6 earned runs with 4 innings and only had 5 Ks. But I still think he's a great pitcher, so I have him at third.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good take. I think from my standpoint, uh, it's kind of tough to choose a pitcher in the AL. There's there's uh there's not many choices.
Mhm.
So I think it's. Do you want to try again and take second? Because I'm just having a tough time over here.
Yeah, I will. And second, I have Dylan Cease of the Toronto Blue Jays. He's just been pitching amazing. Most recent outing, July 8th against the Giants. 8 innings pitched. Not a very strong team, but 8 innings pitched, 0 earned runs and 11 Ks. And then July 3rd, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs and 9 Ks against not the Seahawks, the Seattle Mariners. And those are just two very strong outings. He did have a little hiccup against the Rangers for it in 2/3 innings pitched, 4 runs and 10 Ks, but the Ks are still there. I mean, 10 Ks is insane. So I have to go with Dylan Cease.
Yeah, I mean, my number three, I've decided I'm gonna go Parker Messick of the
Okay,
Cleveland Guardians. I
I
mean,
like that.
he he has a 2.7 ERA with almost 100 strikeouts. He's pitched almost 100 innings, and he's a rookie.
Yup, it's insane.
I mean, it's just outstanding work. I don't think he's going to win it, but I think he's got a really good chance. And for my number two, I'm going to go with Dylan Cease. I mean, second most strikeouts in the league last time I checked. He's just an outstanding talent for the Blue Jays. Even though he's getting older, he's still got the same stuff he's had his whole life.
But we both know number one, Cam
Yep.
Stoltzer,
Cam Slittler.
145 Ks, 123 innings pitched, only allowed 12 home runs. You know, he's just been a dog, man. Like July 6th against the Rays, 8 innings pitched, 1 earned runs, 8 Ks. Against the Nationals, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, and 6 and 2/3. He did have a little hiccup against the Dodgers yesterday with 4 1/3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, but I mean the Ks are still there with eighth. I mean, I just think he's a great talent in the Yankees organization, so he's definitely number one.
Yeah, I mean, he's 1.71 ERA, leading the AL, and he leads the majors in the ratio of strikes to walks. He's not a one to walk batters. Six six strikeouts per walk. I mean, that's just outstanding.
Just amazing. Well, thank you everyone for listening to Across the Leagues. I'm one of the co-hosts, JT Walker.
Host Elliot Heinrich signing off episode 1. Thank you guys.